Is here. Hi, Marlene.
Hello.
Can you hear me now, Marlene? Hello.
Hi, Tina.
Hi. All right. A lot of people sent in some, questions to you yesterday when you mentioned it. So we'll start right here. Why are the tips of our rosemary turning yellow?
Okay, so it looks like the very tips are green. So what happens in springtime? We're still in spring. Is sometimes if you don't have enough nitrogen moves to newer growth, so you'll see the older foliage losing nitrogen and turning yellow. Usually it corrects itself, but if you do have a depletion of nitrogen, you could give your plants a little bit of nitrogen. Remember, nitrogen is the first number you see on a fertilizer box of those three numbers.
Right.
Usually rosemary is not a big feeder, so something else that could be happening, if it's in a bad draining area, water will leach out nitrogen out of the soil. So just make sure it's getting good drainage. And the last thing, it could be an early sign of a decline of that plant due to some root disease, but just be patient and hopefully it'll correct itself.
Okay, all right. And this one is, what am I doing wrong?
Okay, this is also another nitrogen issue. Usually when you have all over yellowing of a plant, it's almost always nitrogen. Plants use a lot of it. It's not more important than other nutrients. It just means the plant uses it. It's a macronutrient. They use it in larger amounts. It's not happy in the pot. Most likely it's pot bound. It's not getting enough water and or nitrogen. So I would move it to a bigger pot. Right now, you could still transplant plant. I mean, today it's raining. It's beautiful weather for plants and moving plants around. Mid-June, when it starts getting really hot, you start running the risk of stressing your plants more so than the stress that's already happening to them. So I would just move this into a different pot, a little bit more space, or even into the ground.
Oh, okay. And then this one is, I got this a month ago and it's not happy. What is a starfish?
It looks like it. So it's actually one of the, quote, I call them fancy aloes. Okay. So these are the hybrid aloes that are absolutely beautiful. But even though a lot of aloes take full extreme afternoon sun, a lot of the hybrids don't. They want either just a little bit of morning sun, afternoon dappled, or you could grow them inside under a grow light or very bright light inside. This one also doesn't take the cold. So if you've had it in the cold, through the winter, it's not happy as well. And remember, very low water. Maybe if it's inside, you're going to water it every 10 days. If it's outside this time of year, well, if it got this rain, you probably won't need to water it for another 2 weeks. So allow the soil to completely dry out. But this one doesn't want afternoon sun.
No afternoon sun.
Quick question from the floor.
Yes, question from the floor.
You talked about nitrogen. Can you give your plants too much of it? And what happens if you do?
Yeah, you'll burn your leaves. The edges of your leaves could burn, or the whole entire leaf could burn. Yes, people think, oh, I'm just going to give my plant more fertilizer. Almost generally, it's never a fertilizer issue with your plants. So yes, you could burn your plants, or you could just change the whole entire dynamics of the, there's a chart called Mulder's chart. It's really fun to look at for hours and hours, and it shows you what happens when you increase one nutrient and it affects all the other nutrients.
For hours?
Hours of fun.
Only certain people will look at Mulder's chart. And it's not, well, it's only 1 out of the 4 of us here, or 5 of us. They'll look at Mulder's chart on a Saturday night.
Yep.
Right?
Good times, good times.
Wow. So let's say you go back to question number 2, or question 1, when the leaves are turning yellow and you're adding that little more nitrogen. Should you dig a little hole and put it in the dirt, or just sprinkle on top of the dirt?
So with any, a lot of nutrients, they could do foliar uptake. So if you spray them on the foliage, it actually shows the results quicker.
Oh, okay.
But it's more short term. So what I would do is give it a little fish emulsion. Fish emulsion is a very mild nitrogen. So when in doubt and you're not sure if it's a nutrient, then just spray it on the leaves. A little bit of fish emulsion.
Got it. There's Marlene's information here. Follow her Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Flower Power Garden Hour. We will be right back.